Almighty. Good evening, how are we? Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, my name is Steve. Welcome. If you are a returning viewer, thank you very much. Now, you teasing little tinkers, over the weekend I actually hit the 500 subscribers, and then I went to 501 on the Sunday, and then when I checked today, when I got sent home from work for being sick, I know I look a little bit fresh-faced now, but I literally got in about 12:30, 1 o'clock, and went straight to bed and woke up about an hour ago. So I've had, literally in the last 24 hours, I've been asleep for about, I'd say 16 of them, and I feel just, I'm going to be awake all fucking night now. So I thought I may as well be productive and record a video. Today's show is going to be someone I've never actually heard of, a fella called Brad Upton. It's just Brad Upton, I'm not done yet. I don't know whether that's the name of the show or whether that's the name of the bit, but the name of the bit that's on YouTube is Millennials Are Still the Stupidest Generation. And I agree, coming from a Gen X. Speaking of, I'm thinking about getting a podcast together with me and a couple of lads who are Gen Z. It's going to be X versus Z. Still haven't hashed out any of the deets on it yet, but hopefully it'll be quite a good show. But without wasting further time, I'm going to pop across and we're going to look at a bit of Brad Upton. Lower you down a touch. There we go. Let's see if I agree with Brad. Let's go.
If you saw my last special, I made fun of millennials. I don't know if you remember that or not. Yeah, it was quite popular. Do we have anybody here tonight under the age of 30? Any 20-somethings? That's still the dumbest group of humans I've ever met in my life. You're not dumb academically, I'll get to that, but you are soft emotionally, I can tell you that. The reason I say that, when I was growing up, our parents let us play in the street, climb trees, and blow stuff up. And you know what happened if you got hurt or maimed? You got a new name.
If you got hurt when you were a kid doing that shit, when I was a kid, you got told to fucking walk it off and just get on with shit.
I had two friends I grew up with, Aimer and Niner. When Aimer was 6, he was in the garage with his big brothers blowing stuff up. He lost his right eye. It was closed the rest of his life. He looked like he was aiming a gun. That's how he got the name Aimer. He was the Aimer. Everybody called him Aimer. I did not know his name was not Aimer. Until the first day of 3rd grade, the teacher said, Ross Thomas. We all went, Ross Thomas, who? Aimer, is your name Ross? We started laughing. That sounded funnier to us than Aimer did. And Aimer says to the teacher, no, my name's Aimer. My mom is the only one that calls me Ross. And she goes, well, Aimer, how'd you get that name? He goes, do you imagine now a kid even pretending to point a gun at a teacher? There'd be a lockdown, there'd be a helicopter above the school.
Yeah, facts.
My friend Niner in the 4th grade, there were 4 of us. We were all out in the woods together. We were all climbing trees. We were all up about 15 feet, and he fell. And on the way down, he was trying to grab branches, and by the time he hit the ground, he'd lost most of his ring finger. And
we laughed.
Every time I tell this story, I still picture it. It's 55 years ago. It still makes me laugh.
Just a quick one. This goes to show you the generational gap. When I was about 14, 15, we used to go fishing, me and my mates. And me and my mate Tom would be on, I'd be on one sort of disused toilet, and he'd be on another dish, on the roof of it, because it was by the fishing lake. And we'd take our mates' catapults, and we were literally aiming for each other's head, like fucking headshots. If we'd have hit, one of us would have died, but we were just like, fucking mad being a kid when I was a kid.
Because he got up and he's dusting himself off. He's going, I'm bleeding somewhere. I'm bleeding. I'm cut. I don't know what. And my other friend says, look at your hand. And he screamed and he ran home. And we all climbed down and followed him, but none of us thought to look for his finger. About 4 days later, he's back in class. His hands all heavily bandaged up. We're learning about decimal points for the first time in our life.
Know where this is going.
He says, I have 9.2 fingers. Called him Niner for the rest of his life.
So you have Aimer and Niner.
When I was a kid, everybody had a nickname. Every single kid. Nobody went by their real name. And it was given to you by your friends, usually about a body part that was not flattering.
Oh, no, I never. Mine was Gambo because it was my original first surname was Gamble.
I had friends who were Paunch, Taterhead, Lips, Chin. Lips had big old Pete Davidson lips. Chin didn't have one. We originally called him Viola because we knew he'd never play one.
I think I've got his.
I had another friend in high school. He had a short right arm. It was fully functional, but it was a short arm on this side, right? So he had a big hand and a little hand.
Called him the clock. Yeah.
Everybody called him Clock. The teachers called him Clock. He was Clock. Clock was awesome, too. He was in my second period algebra class, and we were supposed to be in our seats every day at 9 o'clock when the bell rang, but Clock would always wait out in the hall until that bell rang, and he'd burst through the door every morning like this. It was never not funny. Every single day we waited for that moment and laughed for 10 minutes. One day we're sitting in class, the bell rings, and he doesn't come through the door. We're like, oh, well, that's weird. Where's Clock? You know, must be absent. Well, he was tardy.
Came in like
10
that.
minutes later, he burst through that door like... We laughed until 9:30. And Clock was the best student in class, and he was by far the best student in class. And every Friday, we had to race him on problems. The teacher would put problems up on the board. We had to compete against him. We called it Beat the Clock. Nobody could beat him. He had that left hand going like this, and the eraser in his short hand, and like... One time in PE class, this is after class, we're in the locker room changing, right? And we had two new kids in class, and they were bullies. And they were bullying Clock. And so Clock's in there, and he goes, I'm going to knock you out with this hand. And then he goes, boom, and just spins this kid and knocks him out, just boom, hits the ground. And then he turns the other one and goes, or this one. And when he hit that kid, you know, we all hooted and hollered, and the teacher came running out of his office. What's going on? What's going on? We said, well, these guys were bullying Clock, and he knocked one of them out. And by then, this kid's kind of getting up, and the teacher just walks over and goes, you just got knocked out by a kid with a half arm.
Savage teacher is savage.
You learn to keep your mouth shut. And that was the end of it. Nobody got sent to the office. Nobody got suspended. Nobody's parents got called. Nowadays, Clock would have been the one that got suspended for throwing that first punch. And then you'd had to bring your parents to get an anger management plan. Well, I got angry and I punched that kid. That's the plan. Can you imagine now calling kids by their afflictions? Hey, here's my buddies, Blinky and Snort. Here's my other friend, Orphan. His parents were anti-vaxxers.
Oh, wow. Fucking hell.
Not accurate.
Watch now on Dry Bar Comedy. I think we're going to have to check out more of that Dry Bar Comedy. Brad Upton, I've never seen you before, mate, but you are absolutely fantastic. I will be checking more of you out. Tell me what you thought. If you liked it, give the video a little bit of a like. Come on. We need more people here. We need more than 500. I want me fucking community tab. Just fucking press the like button and the subscribe button. I don't care if you hit the bell notification. I really don't care. Just subscribe and then check me out when you want. I realise people are busy. But guess what? As the prices of everything rises in this world at the moment, you know what isn't rising? The price of my channel, because it's absolutely free. So just hit that subscribe button, please. Let me know what you'd like me to watch next. I don't know, there's about 20 seconds left on this. What is going on there? It's just promos for Driver. But yeah, let me know what you think and let me know what you'd like me to react to. And until next time, peace. I'll check you later. Ta-ra, folks.